Alright, welcome to Jeep Monkey. I've got Axle Deep here. I'm going to be doing an oil change on her. And yeah, so first thing, I undo the cap up here so that way it can all flow downward. I did use a 16 millimeter. I think there's a standard size you can use for it too, but 16 worked fine for me to loosen it up. And then once it's loose, you can just unscrew it here. And as you can see, all this oil right here coming from the back side of the engine just means that the rear main seal probably is done. So you gotta, that's gonna have to be a project coming up probably, I don't know, I'm hoping I can wait till spring to get that done. But we'll see. We'll just keep an eye on the oil level. But the thing is, just it goes across, the tailpipe goes across the oil pan. And you got to remove the oil pan to get to it. And so this pipe needs replaced. So I might as well just replace it all at the same time. So that's why I'm kind of hoping for spring. There we go. And we'll just let that flow for right now. I usually do this in the shop, but I got Project Bravo taking up room. Alright, and then the next step is we're going to remove this oil filter right here. Now, I'm not sure what kind of oil filter they used on this. It doesn't look right though. So we'll see how this goes. Have to get a wrench. Oh, got it going the wrong way. I should be able to do it by hand now. Yeah, see, this looks way too small. So this is the factory recommended one. And you can't go wrong with Mopar anyways. There's the there's the M090. And then we're going to go ahead and put that on. So this is the correct oil filter. I almost said fuel filter. The correct oil filter for this one. Now some people might use new oil to do this, but I'm gonna just to lube the fitting or the gasket. And we'll put this on. And I tend to do it just hand tight. And that's as tight as I can get it by hand, and that's usually all I do right there. It's just a hand tight. And then by the time I do my oil change next, I gotta use the wrench to get it off, so it does tighten up after time. And then we'll stick this on here to empty out, and then I'll continue to let this drip for a little while longer. So as far as oil, I always use the Valvoline high mileage. Now I'm not sure if this stuff has zinc in it. A lot of high mileage oils do, but I'm not sure if this one does or not. That writing is a little too small for me to be able to tell, but I've done a little bit of a research, and I'm finding that these engines probably should have like a zinc additive into them, because this engine block, even though this is an 03, this engine block has been around since probably the 60s. Not this particular engine block, but this type. And a lot of the like lifters and all that are flat, and it just needs that zinc to help keep them in tip top. There's probably a bunch of sciencey stuff to it, but from what I'm finding, zinc is the better additive. So what I did is I just an STP oil treatment, contains zinc, so anti-wear. So, and that's the main thing with these older engines. You know, you want to extend the life of them as much as possible to reduce wear. Reduces oil burning, and then lubricates moving through engine parts. And yeah, so I'm going to put this in. I know this stuff is pretty thick, and the thickness of it isn't necessarily right, but it'll be all right. So we got our Mopar oil filter in. The dripping's about done for this, and then we'll let this drain probably for another 5-10 minutes and let it drip out. All right, let's close her on up. I think I've let this thing drain long enough. Still dripping a little bit, but I think we're good. So we'll put this back on. And I don't like go crazy over this. Let's see. Like, I'm sure there's a torque spec that they want, but I just kind of snug it, okay? And then I'll wipe it up, even though it's kind of a moot point because of all the oil coming out of the rear main seal. All right, so definitely going to be fixing that one in the future. And then I'm going to go ahead and pour in takes approximately, this is about 6 quarts. So I'm going to do the first 5 by this big old thing here. Then I'm going to put the treatment in, the oil treatment. And it is gooey hard. This is a little less than a half a quart. damage, but not that bad. So we'll go with that right there. But you never know. Maybe you just bought one and you don't know how to do it. So I just figured I'd do a little video. Guys, hit like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video.